Hi, I'm Divya Gugnani and welcome to Strip House. Today we're going to do a modern interpretation of some steakhouse classics. So let's go behind the burner and meet the chef. So I'm here with Chef John Schenk. John, what are we making? I see lots of potatoes.
This is something that actually my mom made for me a couple years ago on 4th of July. And it actually uses old baked potatoes that we grate. So anytime I come across a recipe that uses leftovers in a new way.
But does it make you think of your mom?
And it needs to be cooked the day before and rested.
Okay.
So it's not too moist. You don't want it super wet, otherwise it's gonna mush out on you, okay? And it's really just shallots, cheddar cheese, sour cream, salt and pepper.
Those are easy ingredients that you have at home, you can have in your fridge.
The shallots really have that nice bite. You know, it's a really mild onion flavor. You want to get your salt and pepper, kosher salt,
okay,
and ground white pepper, okay? And you really want to, you got to season it before you add the sour cream. Once you add the sour cream, it just gets too gloppy and you can't get an even distribution. So then what I like to do is just put a...
Wait, I got to get in there.
Okay.
You can't do that alone.
I just want to be able to taste the salt. And then I'm just going to add the shallots, just raw minced shallots, okay? Now you notice how I'm not using a spoon, I'm really using my gloved hands.
Yeah.
Not only is it hygienic, you want to keep it nice, light, and fluffy. Okay?
I noticed the technique. You're kind of lifting it up and like incorporating more air.
Exactly. And then I'm going to add some cheddar cheese. Some of your cheddar you're going to go in, and some's going to be put on top.
So you have the two different textures, the melted cheddar inside the potato, and then the kind of crusty cheese on top.
Right. And then you add your sour cream. And then you want to just lightly incorporate. It's very important that the bowl be nice and broad. But you hear that ripping sound?
Yeah.
That means you're good to go. Take a container and just pan it for me. And just give it a nice light and airy. I'm just putting it in. And I want to give it a little bit of room to shrink. It's going to, kind of settle, but that nice air in there is going to keep it a little bit more, almost souffle. Then you put your cheese over the top, and then you just bake it in a 375-degree oven in a water bath for about 15 minutes. Hot water works because it just speeds up the whole process.
Okay, so why the water bath? So it doesn't break?
Well, it just wants gentle heat, and that's pretty much it. Okay, and then you just bake it and then serve.
So potatoes are done, it's time for steak.
Now here, we're gonna do our signature strip steak, New York strip steak, 16 ounces, prime. So this is our 22-ounce bone and rib chop. And you really get them a lot in the supermarket with this bone taken off, and it's just a ribeye steak. And I really suggest this for the home cook because of the nature of where it comes on the animal. It has this great marbling that works throughout the entire...
Marbling is so important because having that little grains of fat going through makes it so juicy.
Fat is flavor. We just do a light oiling of the steak. When we put it on the heat, then it's going to make that surface sizzle really quickly. All we really do here is just fresh cracked black pepper. And we do it in-house, and kosher salt. A little bit over. I would like to go salt first, not too much. A lot of it's going to fall off in the process.
Okay.
So, you got to start with a little bit more than you think because you're going to end up with the right amount at the back end. This works, the broiler works no different than an outdoor grill. We really want that heat on that surface. It's almost like making a roast where you brown the roast. The other important thing is, when you're churning your meat, really get in there and flip it over. Don't drag it across the grates. Now, the real key to outdoor grilling or any kind of grilling meat is to let it rest after it's done grilling. And really just want that simple, let that muscle relax because I would say, like any kind of cooking, it's an invasive technique. The muscle's going to tighten up a little bit. Those juices are going to scatter, and you really want them to come back and evenly distribute through the meat.
So John, what are we eating?
Well, this is our signature New York strip steak.
Great.
And if you can tell now, because of the resting, look how little juices come out of this thing, even though it's been sliced.
Amazing crust outside, crisp, and it's juicy inside.
Exactly. Those shallots really come through. We got that nice, a little bit of texture difference. It works out pretty well.
It does. Well, John, thank you so much for having us. Stay tuned to Behind the Burner, where we give you the tips, tricks, and techniques that are lighting the culinary world on fire.